Hey everyone, welcome to Angeldust Dev, another live stream where we take a look at a in-development version of Angeldust, and we're going to play the game for a little bit. We're also going to talk about the NPC ID that people have thrown up last week on the last week's stream. So talking about NPCs, I want to get some feedback and I want to ask some questions about the entire ID and where we should take it. So I'm going to assume that you're familiar with the game Angeldust. It's an action RPG for Windows, Mac, iPad, iPhone, Android tablets and phones and Linux. And as always, let me do the standard spiel here. If you're watching on YouTube, give a thumbs up to the video, subscribe to the channel to never miss a live show, and if you're watching on Twitch, hit that follow button. Thanks, much appreciated. Let me also try to open up the Steam chat stream thing. It's supposedly working again this week. Yeah, here we go. So hopefully we'll get some viewers and some chatters on there as well. Yeah, I don't have a Sinterklaas costume. Last week we talked about Sinterklaas. It's a Dutch holiday. Or a festivity, whatever festive day. It's a kind of party for the children where Sinterklaas and Black Pete, kind of that's his name, sorry, it's culturally appropriate. Black Pete and Sinterklaas, they hand out gifts and candy to the children, which is always rather fun. I'm really fond of that holiday. I like candy and I like getting gifts, so that's pretty cool. This is not a normal stream, no, we're doing a development live stream, Niels, so we're going to take a look at some in-development stuff, and we're going to see if people have got ideas for the NPC thing that we were talking about. Yeah, everyday Frank streams is a Saturday, indeed. I just make up the calendar as we go. It's easy as that. Simple as that. Anyway, as you can see, I'm already in the game, so if you're not familiar with the game, go ahead and join the Discord server. It's run by a community of volunteers who do a very good job at getting new players involved with the game. I'm going to assume that you already know how to play the game and that you know kind of what the in-game content already is. We're going to take a look at something new, or at least talk about something new. NPCs, non-player characters, so those are dudes that are not players, but that are still dudes. So that's what we talked about last week. Hey, Obi, hey Niels, by the way. Soft body, what? Soft body, huh? Anyway, I'm going to be monitoring the stream chat a little bit, so I've got Twitch and YouTube open to my left and I've got Steam open to my right, but it's also going to be somewhat on a rails because I've got a lot of topics that I want to go through and a lot of questions and things to talk about. So Loki the Whitful, not sure if you're there on the YouTube chat or if you're on Twitch or on either of the channels. I'm signed into a testing server, so please don't assume that I'm in the actual real world because I want to show off some new things, kind of. So I'm in a testing server, you won't be able to find me in-game. I'm also not signed in as Firefly, so you will not find me in-game today, or at least not the initial moments. So please don't bother trying to find me, I'm not there, as they say. So how do I place a block in Angeldust? Oh, we're going to take a look at that pretty soon, Niels. And how do I move left? I'm going to show you, it's going to be very simple. Today I'm not going to pick up my game controller, so usually I play with the game controller, this thing connected via USB. Today I'm not going to because I need to use my keyboard and mouse for most of the things that I want to talk about. So here we go. So we're in game, as you can see it's nighttime. I'm playing a kind of a branch of the 3.x series of Angeldust, so we don't have the dynamic shadows, we don't have the OpenGL rendering effects. I really wanted to focus on non-rendering stuff. So I've got the map open, as you can see. Let's head out of the map. So Loki the Whitful, yes, since when is moving to the left simple? Yeah, it's pressing the A key or the stick on your controller. It's pretty relatively easy, but we're not going to talk about moving left today. We're going to talk about moving right. Loki the Whitful sent me a video kind of describing and visualizing the NPC system that we discussed last week. So Angelio was kind of having a hard time visualizing what it would look like. Don't worry about it, Angelio, like the French. Привет! Как дела? Welcome, Mr. Russian man. The Scorpion, the Scopy, so Scopy. The advanced options, what? Yeah. Angeldust allows you to play with, just plug the controller in and it will work. So, yeah, to move right you press B. Anyway, again, so no fancy schmancy stuff. Loki the Whitful sent me a video about the NPC system that we discussed last week. The French, Angelio had a little bit of a hard time understanding what it was all about, like move forward, move right, move left. So Loki made a very handy visualization of that system with all of the rules active at the top of the screen. We can take a look at the video later on. For now, I want to show you something which kind of comes close to what Loki has built. So we kind of have duplicated our efforts here, but doesn't matter. Imagine Angelio doesn't even show up today, it could just happen. Angelio's mind was kind of busy doing other things that day. I forget about it. forget it. Press left, right? Yeah, forget about it. So we're going in game because, like I said, we're going to talk and we're going to ask questions. I will be monitoring the chat, of course, for questions and IDs. But I also want to show you something because, as I discovered last week, it's very handy to have something visualized. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. I'm in the map, but we're going to go out of the map and we're going to go into the game. And as Bill from Kill Bill would say, it just so happens that there's an NPC standing here. So see that dude over there? See it over there? So this is my visualization of the thing. Yo, so yeah, this is the NPC. As you can see, we can take a look at it from a few different angles. Again, this is a 3.x version of Angeldust, so it doesn't really have all of the new OpenGL effects. Hey! There you go. So here we are. This is the NPC. Check it out. It's at a distance because I'm afraid of it. I haven't seen this kind of thing in Angeldust before, so I'm a little bit anxious as to what this thing is going to do. Right. Yeah, he's not politically correct. That's what NPC stands for, right? So the first thing you'll notice if you see this NPC, if you can eat him, but if you get too close, if you get close to him like this, hey bruh, he's like, hey dude, what's up? What's up, bro? Yeah, I look, I kind of, I go away because I don't want to. Oh, hey bro, what's up? What's up? He moved. Yeah. He's the NPC. This is like, this is it. This is the NPC. This is what you wanted. The NPC can move, as you can see. Wow. Right, so this is the NPC. As you can see, it's just hanging around at the moment. He's just idling. So I hope that this is still understandable. Please scream if you want to go faster. But like this. So he's like, oh yeah, bruh. What's up, bruh? He will remember which way he was facing. This will be important later on. But as you can see, he's kind of like, hey, I'm glad you're here, bro. And as you can see, we're like brothers. He's the Mario to my Luigi, or vice versa. So I've got the orange hat, he's got the blue hat. It's all good. It's pretty cool. Play together? No play together today. We're taking a look at some development features here. It's QQW. Yeah, this is no social distancing, no physical distancing. So anyway, this dude is over here, and he's our example model for today. So this is the NPC. If you move away, he will remember like, hey, I was looking to the north, because as you can see, this is the north, this way. So the dude remembers where he was going, and if you don't get too close, he's like, okay, man, I'm just standing here. I'll be here. I'm here all day long. Anyway, so I hope that this is understandable. I hope things are clear so far. So as you can see, if he's just standing around, he will actually start looking at you if you get close, because he's like, hey, bro, what's up, man? Yeah. So anyway, now we get to the difficult part. So we talked about the navigation thing last week, and I said like, okay, there will be 3 simple rules probably, like go forward, go to the right, go to the left. Things couldn't be easier, I think, but Angelio had kind of a hard time understanding this, so I will visualize what I meant. So if we place like the natural direction that this NPC is looking in is north, which is to my left at the moment, so as you can see he's looking there. So let's place a block and let's say, dude, the photon blocks will act as markers. And he's like, oh man, I get you, Firefly, I understand. And he's like, okay, I will move to the block. So, Niels, please, what up? I'm getting spammed. I'm getting spammed on Twitch. If you want to get some top-notch spam, you need to join Twitch. Thanks for the help, everyone. Alright, so the idea is that he will move forward if there's a block in front of him. And now that he's still looking to the north, because he moved to the north like this, he's still looking to the north. He can also go left or right, but he will prefer right to left. So, doesn't really matter. We're going to make a square here, and we're going to see what happens. Let's place another block here. Dude, it's to your left. You can do this. Oh, yeah. And we place another one a little bit to the left. Dude, there's a block there. Go, 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 go. Move it, move it. Oh, yeah. Now he's in the box, and we place another one to complete the thing, complete the square. And as you can see, now that the square is complete, he's not going to idle anymore. He's just going to be like, oh man, Firefly, bruh, I understand you, bruh. So is this like too complex? Can you understand this, Angelio? I know you're not there, but is this understandable? We were taking things easy, one step at a time. Yeah, it's an infinite energy generator, indeed. Right, so now we're going to make things a little bit more difficult, because Angelio understands this. I got word that Angelio understands this. So what happens if we place another block on this side? Let's wait for the NPC to take its turn. We place another block here. So what will happen, because forward has got precedence, forward is the first rule. If the NPC can move forward, it will move forward, and then it will end up at this block. Check this out. Oh yeah. So instead of going to the left, because it was going like left, 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 left to make this square, now he's like, okay, I can move forward, so I will move forward. So, wait, this is sick, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Right, so we can also make him do a right turn. Right. So like this. Dude, move to the right, man. You got it. And now we complete the square over here. So now we've got two squares interlinked as a figure 8, kind of. And it's just going to move. Oh, let's get the camera like this. And now he's just going to take left turns in this square because it's to the left, to the left, to the left. And now he's going to the right because when he ends up at the center square, he's like, I can move forward and I will turn to the right. Oh yeah. What little pump. What about little pump? Get out of here with your little pump. So Angelio, do you understand this? Do you understand what's happening? 50 on my wrist. Give me the Uzi. I have a question, but I don't know how to do it in English. Well, use Google Translate then. Anyway, so the dude, as you can see, is just merrily walking along. Angelio doesn't understand the cross-section. Okay, well, it's pretty simple, Angelio. The dude wants to move forward. He always wants to go forward. And if you can't go forward, he will go to the right. And if you can't go forward or to the right, he will go to the left. That's all there is to it. And as you can see, you can make this kind of pattern. So anyway. I give you egg and fried rice. Thank you, hehe, AlexENX. I'm really looking forward to the rice. Say it in French. Ah. Anyway, get this. So, any questions so far? Is there anything problematic with this? So as you can see, you can even add this to existing builds, and it's all pretty cool. So what happens if you actually make this into a square where you've got these corners? Let's see what happens. Maybe Angelio, this will help you understand the system a little bit better even. So now there's squares on all sides. And as you can see, the dude wants to go right, he wants to go to the right, but now he's like, okay, I can move forward to another marker. And now I turn to the right, I can move forward through this marker, I'm going to this one, I can move to the right, and so on and so forth. So he prefers right, yeah, and go eat the tree behind. Yeah, I always eat tree behinds. So as you can see, because he can now move forward while being at these blocks, he will move forward. Check this out. Right, so anyway, this is basically the idea with the markers. So this is how you set up the navigation for the NPC. Yeah, I will go and eat salad. It's pretty nice. Eat from the back to the front. So now the problem is, this doesn't look too good. If you would add this to your build, you would go completely insane because there's photon blocks, like empty photon blocks everywhere. And it's just not fun to look at. So also one thing that I can show you here is these things all interact with each other or with the photon system. So if there's a block that's full instead of empty, like this, boom, it will not count as a marker and the dude will avoid it. So this way you can actually make some complex paths. Decides to go to the right here. So what if we also disable that right thing there? Let's disable this one. So this is no longer a marker, but this way you can add interactivity to the routing. It will actually, yeah, I'm going to confuse Angelio a little bit, but it will actually only scan for empty photon blocks, and if they are filled, it will just completely ignore them. So keep this in mind. Keep it. Hey, auntie and uncle, welcome. Does this make sense? So you can again unlock one of these blocks if you just open it up like this. Boop. And now the dude will just move forward. And he's like, okay, this injector, I'm not even going to see it. Oh, he's off. He's off. He's running away. This was not planned. Get back here. Get back. Get back. He's gone. See you later, bro. Yeah, he's just going to continue walking. He'll be at the start of the. He'll be at the start of the world somewhere. Anyway, so what we're going to do is do a little bit of magic here. Let's. We need another NPC. So I'm going to do this a little bit cheeky. I'm going to do this cheeky. So you can only see me now. So I'm doing a little bit of magic here behind the scenes. Don't worry about it. We're setting up a new NPC because we can do this. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Forget about it. Alright, we're back. We're back. Yeah, he didn't want to do this anymore. There we go. We're back and there is another NPC, as you can see. Alright, so these markers are photon blocks, and as you can see, you can toggle them on and off to dynamically change the routing. Don't worry about that photon injector thing just there. It was a small hiccup. I will fix it. I hadn't tested that before, but hey, don't worry about it. Because what you can do is the following thing. Instead of photon blocks, you can actually use decals. So I'm going to use a chalk line here because it's rather visible. But don't worry about it. This will work with any decal that is in the game. Check it out, so it will actually navigate to decals or stickers or whatever you may call them. And this way you can even use IV or different blocks like IV, maybe the water puddle, other stuff. So it will actually use these decals. So if you don't have a build where you can actually have a false floor and do routing underground, because we're going to take a look at that later on, you can actually use decals and you can just use IV or something that's not really too visible, and you can use that for routing. Yeah, I have no idea, Niels. I have no idea. On Twitch, there's even better spam. No, you can't make it ignore decals. But there is a way to make it ignore decals. Anyway, it will also only look for decals on the ground. So it will not look for decals in the air or to its sides, and it will just walk from marker to marker. Once it's got a next marker locked in, it will not change its path. But we're going to take a look at that later on. Alright, so what you can do is the following thing. Let me get some stairs over here. Oop, like this. We're going to make an obstacle course because that's the way we do it. Boop, like this. Dude doesn't even care. He's like, okay man, I will just walk the stairs, no problem. Maybe we can go back to the figure 8 as well. Let's remove this one. What you also can do is this. You can dig a trench into the water. Or maybe even with a plank in the middle like this. So this is water and a plank. Dude will go into the water. It will sink into the ground. Don't worry about it. It will just do it. Block his path. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit difficult, but we're going to try it. Let's do it. Boop. He's like, okay, well, this is a hefty wall. I can't go over this. So once you remove the wall, he's actually able to go over it. And he's like, okay, man, I get you. We're walking again. He doesn't jump. He's not programmed to jump. That would be massively inconvenient. But can he climb columns? Nah, bro. Not at the moment, at least. So anyway, don't worry about it. He can do thin blocks like this, and he can go through the water. He can go over stairs. It's all pretty cool. So this is what you can do. Firefly, I'm sorry, I'm not able to come to your streams. Don't worry about it, Thiago. You're welcome. Hey, if you feel like it, you can always join us on the stream and take a look at what we're doing. One moment, please. Yeah, we back. So as you can see, he will just walk, and this is the way you can integrate it into existing builds using decals as routing. So it will not get confused if I place a decal here in the center, or even many decals. Hey Anthony, welcome! We're taking a look at the NPC ID, so let me know if you have questions or IDs. So it doesn't get confused by any markers in the middle or at the higher levels, it's just going to ignore those. It will only look at the ground level, and if it's got a direction planned for a next marker, it will go there. So these decals can be 8 blocks apart, so you don't really need them to be placed throughout the entire build. You just casually throw a few of these around. It scans 8 blocks ahead. Hey Niels, have a nice weekend. See you later. Scans 8 blocks ahead, which is a pretty long time. Can you put something on top of the marks? Yeah, of course you can. But it won't be able to go through. I mean, if it's something that's blocking its path, it won't go through. You need to eat fried rice with an egg. Hello people. Hey Emir, Russell. Welcome. So we're taking a look at the NPC. Yeah, what's up with the chat? I have no idea. Hey, you can use any sticker you want. For instance, if I turn this thing into a water puddle, it even works. So this way you can integrate it into existing builds where you cannot plan for the next feature that I'm going to show you. Oh, you rhyme. That's right. This is what happens if you stream on a Friday. Yeah, we can even buy some other stickers or some other decals. Let's see, decal category. So the idea is that you use the ivy block to like casually hide this stuff from view. Let's see if we can turn this one into an ivy. And you just suddenly, yeah, another one gone. Bye NPC. He's gone. We'll never see him again. Oh, he's going to be stuck at the tree. Okay, so maybe... No, it's too far away. It's too far away. Okay, but doesn't matter. We're going to... yeah, what happened was the NPC... Yeah, he's got a nice adventure. He saw this marker and he was like, okay, I'm going to walk there. Then I removed the marker. He never arrived here and he's just walking ahead looking for new markers. There are no new markers. So he's gone. He's forever gone. Yeah, the NPC goes brrr. But it's not a problem. We're not going to let a NPC stop us. We're going to take a look at the next example that I wanted to show you. So this is how you integrate them into existing builds. You just use a few decals for routing, and I think you can do this pretty inconspicuously, meaning that it's pretty nicely hidden, so you don't really have to worry about it or anything. So next up, we're going to make a stairs like this. We need some stairs. Boom, boom, boom. Another stairs block. Oh, not here. This way. Right, there we go. Now we need something like cinder blocks. We're going to make the floor. So if you make a build, that is actually made after the NPC is introduced, if it's introduced. Note that it's still walking over there, walking on sunshine. This is what you want to do if you're going to make a build once the NPC is available in the game, if it becomes available. You might want to make a false floor, which is like 1 block above the ground. You can do it even better than I'm doing right here. Do markers closer to the NPC have priority. It will scan forwards, and then the closest marker to the front will count. It will scan to the right, closest marker to the right will count, but it doesn't really matter. It's just for marking its rotation. It will stop on any marker that it will come across in that direction. Oh, whoops. Alright, so I haven't practiced this too much. We're going to take a look if this is going to work. Yeah, I'm building. It's cinder blocks. If I'm building, it's cinder blocks. You know what's up. We're going to need a bit of light, so let's get a lantern over here. Let's see. Large lantern block. I like it. Where shall I place it? I want it to be kind of out of view, like this. Okay, so a lantern block over here. That's nice. So this is what now today? Hey, Alexi, we're looking at the NPC thing. Yo. Yeah, I have a lot of coins. I have a lot of coins. Yeah, bro. Okay, so the preferred way, if you start a build when the NPCs are in the game, if they are coming to the game, if you do that, you want the false floor, so you want to raise the floor like one level above the actual Angeldust floor level. One. And we're back. Right, so what you want to do is make sure that your floor is has at least got one block below it, and then you can use the photon blocks again for hidden routing. So let's place some empty photon blocks at the corners of this shape. I'm going to leave the ground open so that you can see what's going to happen here. Like this. Place another one here. Let's see if we don't have too many blocks in between. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is good. There can be 8 blocks in between. So I'm marking all of the corner points here. So this is if you're actually making a yeah, let's place one more here to be sure. It needs to span 13 blocks or so, 12 blocks. So this is what you want if you have a build with like an elaborate floor that you want, so you can use tables in between or maybe thin blocks or whatever. You place these photon blocks, these empty ones, at the corners, and now we're going to add a NPC here, which is going to be hidden from view. So you need to look at my face one more time while I'll spawn another NPC. Forget about it. Boop. Boop. Alright, here we go. Alright, let's head back in game. Here we are. Let me finish up the routing here. Alright, so as you can see, the NPC is still following this entire thing, so it will actually on this corner move around, and that's because we delineated it with a lot of photon blocks, empty photon blocks. So the NPC scans for 2 things, or 3 things actually. It will first look for underground photon blocks, so like one below its the ground level, the level that it's standing on. So these have got precedence. So this is actually the preferred operation of the NPC. So you can hide the markers from view, and you could have an entire town square or village square or whatever, a road or some kind of walkway, and you would not even see the markers. So you wouldn't have to place decals on this or anything. You can just hide the markers from view, and the NPC will scan underground and will know like, okay, this is the path that I need to follow. Hey Alexi, yeah, it is. We're taking ideas here, so we're about halfway through the demonstration here. So this is pretty cool, right? Oh, one moment, please. Yeah, we're back. Sorry, it's still a little bit of a cold that I've got, and I want to make sure that I can present this stuff. Right, so anyway, this is the preferred mode of operation for the NPC. We also have the above ground navigation using decals for existing builds where you can't have this false floor ID. And there's a third mode where you have the empty photon blocks above ground. It's not preferable, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, I'm really sorry. It's yeah, rip. It scans 2 blocks deep. It will scan from the level that it is walking on 1 block downwards. So this also works with let's see, thin blocks, or at least supposedly it should work with thin blocks. Maybe we'll lose another NPC. Maybe we'll lose. You can bet now, betnow.com. Will we lose another NPC here? No, it works, as you can see. So it doesn't really matter, but it will look for the blocks below the block where it is walking on. Alright, so that's pretty cool, right? Same thing holds here, so if a photon block is lit, it doesn't count as a photon block, so you can even do hidden routing this way. So if I turn this photon block on, it will not count as a marker anymore for the NPC. It will not see it, and supposedly it's going to stop here on the corner. Supposedly. So maybe we'll lose another NPC. Yeah, so it will stop on the corner. I'm free. No, it's not free. It's just like I don't see any markers anymore. And since it's now in idling mode, it will start looking at us like, bruh, what's up, man? It's like, oh yeah, so he will rotate towards us, as you can see. If you go and stand upon this block, he's like, okay, what's up, dude? Where do we want to go? So we now turn the marker on. So supposedly you can tie this to player choices, like the NPC could be like, okay, where do you want to go, or what is your answer to my question? You click on a button, you can use this using photon conduits, and now it will see the marker and it will resume its path again. So that's pretty cool, right? Interessante! Yeah. So, oh, that's a cool idea, Obi. If the NPC walks over a hollow scroll, the message on the scroll shows up in the chat. That would be pretty cool. So, let me show a thing. If we use, I'm going to tempt it. I'm going to troll the NPC a little bit, because you probably do not believe that the system actually works. We're going to place a decal on this tower over here. So this will actually be on the ground level. And let's see if it falls off. Now it will say, I see another marker underground. So this underground marker, it will first scan for underground markers. It won't find one underground to the front, but it will find one underground to the left, so it will go to the left. So you can't tempt it using decals. So this is the way to actually integrate it into builds where you can plan this entire thing ahead. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So that's a cool feature. One moment, please. I forget about it. We're back. So pretty cool. So Obi had the idea, like, what if you place a hollow scroll? What if you place a hollow scroll and the dude would actually say it? That would be pretty sick, bro. That would be pretty sick. If only someone had thought of this. So you place it underground. You place it underground because, yeah, the idea is that this where you place it, it should be like full blocks, like this. So you actually hide it from view, and it will actually scan underground. So it will say like, hey, bro. Hello world. You see? So this way you can actually hide it from view. So you don't have the hollow scroll, you don't as a player walk over it. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? He's like, oh yeah. Hello world. So you can actually make it say things and ask questions, or reply to stuff, or say like, hey, we're going into the world, or we're going into the barber shop, or we're going to the whatevers. And it will also show up in the chat view, which is pretty cool. So, hello world. Yes, hello world. That's pretty cool. So one other thing is that, like, most of the time you run into the problem that you encounter players from all kinds of languages. And players can visit your build or your wonder, and it's all international, and people from all over the world are here. So the solution for in-game chat is like to use the quick messages, so say things like hello. So it would be pretty cool if the NPC could also welcome players in their own native language. So let's place a block, and this is for the NPC only. You do hashtag, and then the number of the message. So hashtag 1 is hello. As you can see, there's a tiny 1 over here in the corner. So you can use hash 128 for making these quick messages appear. Let's see what happens. The NPC is going to walk over it and say, hello world, and then it's over here, and it uses the quick message, hello. So this way you can actually add some international allure to your NPC as well, which is pretty cool. It was kind of the best way to do this. If as a player you walk over this, it will actually say hash 1, so it doesn't really work as a quick message. But that's not a problem, and it will just repeat like saying hello. Hey Griffiths, welcome. So it will say goodbye. If you do 9, it should probably crash, or 9 is not a valid message. So let's see what happens. Hash 9. Hash 9, what happens? Hash 0 is explicitly forbidden, so hash 9. He just doesn't say anything. He doesn't crash, but he doesn't say anything. So that's the thing for you. Oh, this is a trampoline. I don't want a trampoline. I want a hollow scroll. Oh, whoops. Let's place it over here. Hello world. I'm just going to use the proper message here. So there we go. So next up, I thought like, okay, that's pretty cool, man. So you can say something and you can quick messages. That's really cool. So like Obi said, like, hey, what if you block its path? That's pretty sick, bro. You don't want to block the NPC, do you? Let's build a wall here. So actually, for the demonstration, I'm going to have to do this really quickly. Let's build a wall. And yeah, so the idea is that if you place a trampoline, it will signal the NPC to actually jump. So that's pretty cool. I can see that live in the Twitch. Yes, you can go to twitch.tv/Angeldustlive and it's like, woohoo! Oh yeah. Oh yes. I'm not actually sure if it can cross gaps or anything, but this way you can actually make it climb things. So you could say something like, hey dude, we're about to jump. We can place a hollow scroll over here that says like, I'm a jump. Jump. Jumpy. Yeah, jump or whatever. This is like bad. I will go to the Twitch. That's great. That's great. I'm a jump. So see, this is pretty cool, right? So I thought, okay, that's cool, man. That's all absolutely amazing. So next up, I thought of another cool trick. Yeah, this is the Yampy. So what happens if you place a photon counter under it? What will it do? So there's a photon counter as the hidden programming. What will this do? What will this do? It will...
Hey there, I'm a mystery.
Trigger a flourish. And he will wait for a few seconds. Oh yeah, so players can actually catch up. That's pretty cool. That's sick, bro. That's really sick. Oh yes. Because the flourish is also translated in the language of the player, of course, or at least subtitled in the language that the players are playing in.
Well, no rush. I'll just chant.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And he's just merrily going along. So that's pretty sick, bro. So I was like, okay, now he can actually flourish, he can jump, he can say stuff. That's all cool and well. So what next, man? What next? Oh yeah, let's place a treasure block underneath. What's the treasure block going to do? Place your bets right now. What's the treasure block going to do? It's Hum is going to be pleased with this. Oh yeah, what's happening? He's there. Bam! He's going to dance, bro. He's dancing. Oh yeah, so if you want to make a rock stadium, or if you want to have like this great stage where people are dancing, oh yeah, he dance. Free dancing for everyone. Oh yeah, he's like, oh bro, I'm dancing, I'm rocking out, bro. Alright, I'm done rocking out.
Well, no rush. I'll just chant or something.
So he will dance for, what is it, like 20 seconds or so, and then continue his journey. You can of course make him go in a loop and he will be dancing forever. That's sick, bro. That's really sick. Check it out, man. Alright, so that's about it. That's like all of the behaviors that I've got right now. So big questions are, how should he interact with the photon system? Because it would be nice for it to be able to trigger photon machinery. Maybe Obi is on the right track, that if you bury a injector underground like this, that it should get triggered, or maybe even a remover too. So that would be nice. Let's see, where's the remover? Oh yeah, I've got it over here. So that would be cool. That doesn't actually work at the moment because I didn't know what to do. Like the alternative is to move the injector above ground, so that he would actually walk over it and then trigger it. Yeah, the idea is the treasure block. So the treasure block kind of pays for all of the dances that you get for free. Yeah, under would be nice because then the player can't trigger it, and that's the idea with all of this programming. Because the hollow scroll is buried and the trampoline is buried and all of this stuff is buried, the player can't interact with it. So it's actually it's real NPC stuff. So that might sound like a good idea. So have injectors. The problem is that won't work in the existing builds. So if you don't have room underground, it will not work in your build because it will not trigger it. Yeah, underground is much better, I agree, but that would give one consistent system for the NPC. Also, let me show you, because this kind of looks like a catwalk or a walkway for a fashion show. But like I said, this can be hidden from sight, from end to end, of course, by doing this. Alexi, you still there?
Well, no rush. I'll just...
Alexi, I was wondering, you had, in PAX Anima, you had this one dude. What was the dude called? He was like this crimson dude. What was he called? Jove, Martin Jove or something? Or what was his name? Jump. Jove Mo? No. His name was... Jove was the surname, I think. Not entirely sure. Walter Jove. Is there a tutorial on how to play the beta? How to add it to Angels? There's a readme file included in it. It says like you need to copy these files and then merge them and do all that stuff. Jove Walter Moore. There we go. Thanks. So anyway, this is not because I'm going to show you super secret stuff or anything. It's just to show you that you can hide all of this stuff away underground. And as you can see, the NPC will appear to be performing intelligent tasks or behavior that you've programmed into it. So you might want to have a blueprint, or you can use the cinematic mode to go underground and check out the machinery that you kind of designed for this. But as you can see, the NPC will just follow the terrain, and it will do all kinds of cool stuff. So the NPC can change the route by going on the platform. Yeah, kind of. The NPC follows the clues that are hidden below the platform, like this. Yo mama, got him! What? Anyway, so this is pretty cool. So next up, we're going to take a look at one more trick. Of course, we're going to take a look at one more trick. So the interaction with the photon blocks, I think that's figured. Well, one more question. Do we want a way to despawn NPCs, and what would that look like? I'm kind of thinking about using the photon faucet, because it's kind of like the draining of a photon, draining of the functionality. That would be so maybe if you place a photon faucet underground, it would actually despawn the NPC. Does that sound like a good idea? Let me just quickly wrap up this thing on this side as well. I'm not sure if despawning an NPC is actually something that you want to do, because that's it's like a tricky thing. Okay, so this next part is going to be a little bit difficult, because I've built this entire contraption, and I actually need some clean space to work in, but you probably want him to leave at some... Yeah, you can always make him... He's still standing around here. He's still waiting for the tree, so he doesn't climb trees, as you can see. He's really made for ground navigation only. You can make him jump, but he's not like... I don't think that climbing trees will ever be part of its programming.
Well, no rush. I'll just chant.
But like stairs, however high they might be, you can use it. You don't want the name tag to still be there, so despawning would be great, okay? Right, so I actually need a little bit of like empty room for the next demonstration. But first, another thing. Colts Walker, eat your heart out. The Colts Walker said like, okay, there's a big problem with the entire system. And he was kind of right. We're going to take a look at the new photon imitator. As you can see, instead of being a block, the new photon imitator is now a decal. And you can actually use it to spawn NPCs. So let's place one here. This decal gets ignored by the NPC, so you can't use it for routing. We're going to place let's see, a poison dart frog over here. Okay, boom. As you can see, it's now just a decal on the ground that indicates that the frog is going to spawn here. And it's way less intrusive than the old photon imitator. It prefers to stick to the ground and to the ceiling, so it's actually a like horizontally oriented decal, so it won't stick to walls. So this is much better, yeah. And so the minimal setup for spawning something is now this. It looks like this. So this is way less intrusive, way less visually intrusive. All of the existing photon imitators, of course, have been changed to this thing with the new patch, which might be coming up. I'm not sure, but this might be coming in the next version of Angeldust. So you can see that it's now turned into a decal, and it's just way cleaner. And this way you can have a frog. Boom. Yeah, you can also stick it on top of the injector, which is actually maybe even better example of a minimal setup. So you can make it like this. Poison dart frog, boom. Like this. So you can see it's actually stuck. The decal is now stuck on top of the injector, and as soon as you step on it, the frog spawns on top of the injector. Easy peasy.
Alright.
Yeah, and this way you can also spawn big creatures, indeed. So this is way better visually. Previously you would have this giant block, like this location, this giant imitator just floating in the air above it. Yeah, this is inspired by Coldswalker. Coldswalker said that the current shape isn't ideal, and Coldswalker was absolutely right. How many NPCs can you spawn? An infinite amount, but there can only be 4 in each chunk. So a chunk is a 32 by 32 piece of the world, like this. There can be 4 of them at once. They can even overlap, so don't worry about it. Just like players, they can be in the same space. They can have like overlapping routes, and they can walk through each other just like players can do. They won't despawn if they get close together. One thing, they won't spawn if there's a spawner and there's another NPC on top. It won't spawn, so it will not spawn if there's an NPC already on the spawner. But otherwise, you can just get 4 of them in the chunk. There's like on the corners of chunks, you can get 16 this way in a very close area. Yeah, this is why we hit the NPC at the start, because I didn't want to show you the new design of the photon imitator. Yeah, there's more. Here we go. Like I said, I need a little bit of a play space here, so let's see if I can make one. We're now going to spawn NPCs. Oh, also, if there are too many NPCs, the newest ones will survive, so the old ones will despawn. I think that is more flexible than removing the old ones. The new ones, sorry. So if you spawn an NPC, you will be guaranteed that it's actually spawning, and if there is an NPC removed, it will be an older one. Yeah, don't worry about it. Last week we said, like, is 4 a good number? I think 4 is a good number. These are pretty hefty things, so they take a little bit of server time, because they've got all of these things that they can do. It takes a little bit more than just your regular entity in the game, but it's a pretty nice programmable system this way. Alright, we're making an elevated platform here. Yo mama. Right, so by the way, let me write down the answers that we've already got. So we say that a injector underground. So is it a problem that you can't have it interact with injectors on the ground? I don't think it is. I think stuff on the ground should be reserved for the player, and I think that the underground routing is for the NPC. So players can't. There's like a distinct exclusivity to all of these things. If it's underground, it's exclusive for the NPC because the player can't touch it, and if it's above ground, it's for the player and the NPC can't touch it. This way you're actually guaranteed that one thing will work for either the hero or the NPC and not for the other one. So let's say like the injector underground, below ground, injector or the remover is for the NPC. Alright. Right, that's cool. I enjoy this. What, the oldest one dies? If there's 4 NPCs in a chunk, what happens if another NPC comes from another chunk? Yeah, in that chunk, the oldest one dies. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. It's just the way it is. What happens if I bring an NPC from another chunk to the other chunk? Yeah, that's the exact same thing. Add it to the list of things I ain't gonna do. Yeah. Okay, we're going to troll a little bit. We're going to spawn an infinite. We're going to spawn a lot of things. So I'm going to place a marker here, as you can see, because now comes the genius. Already this was genius. What happens when they go outside loaded chunks? They will just stop at the boundary. If you move to the boundary, or if you make sure that the boundary chunk gets loaded in, they will continue their journey. So as you can see, this NPC is waiting here, but it could very well be waiting somewhere near that guard post, and then wait for it to load in, so it will not disappear. Alright, so now comes the genius part, and it's not completely finished, but I think it's in great shape already. So this is the genius part. You ask me to add something, and I take it pretty seriously. I'm going to use an injector, and we're going to place live. We're going to place a photon imitator live. So you already saw this. It says enter the creature NPC type number. So you can choose the creatures like I did. But of course you can now select the dudes. So they are listed in the alphabetical order: builder, fighter, scout, sorceress. So let's choose the builder. And this way we don't need new blocks. We just need a little bit more magic to make it all happen. One moment, then we'll continue the thing. Yeah, we're back. Okay, everyone wants a scout, so we're going to select the scout. Alright, so you saw what happens. If you select a creature like the frog, it's boom, bam. He never returned. I'm back, baby. So this is pretty cool. But what happens if you select one of the heroes? So if you spawn an NPC like this, scout, you get some more questions. The first one is the color number. So this is mandatory at the moment. So you can choose all of the colors from the Holo Painter, which is so you can make 8 different factions of characters. Which one is your favorite color, Ruan? Which is your waifu? I'll wait for an answer. What's your favorite color? Red. Anthony says red. Ruan, what's your favorite color, bro? The latency to your place can't be that long. Come on, bro. Come. Chop, hit it. Angelio is not here. My waifu uses white clothes, but my scout uses black clothes. Okay, well then we're going with black here. Boom. Pink is not an option, so we're going with black. Here we go. Next. Chop, bam. Alright, so yeah, this is the... I wanted to quickly go past this question, but you can make it ride a creature as well. So if you say like we wanted to ride a horse, you can make it ride a horse. Let's use a nice horse. You can choose a starting direction, so north is to my backside. I think that, let's see, is it east where we wanted to go? East. So you can actually make it like head in the direction that you want. It's only 4 directions, of course. So let's say we wanted to go east. And now there's another secret feature. I'm going to skip this real quickly because I want to make this a surprise. Alright, so we're skipping this. Boom. Trust me, the thing was placed. The thing was placed. Here we go. So as you can see, it's pretty minimal, and now we're going to spawn it. Let's see if it actually works. Boom! There's an unknown scout. I'm going to fix it so this actually works. There we go. The NPC on a horse. And if I just move away, she will actually start relaxing again. And we'll see. Yeah, so she's oriented to the east. As you can see, it's to the east. The other dude is still jumping. It's insane, and she is hot. Okay, that's the most important thing. If we walk up to her, she isn't shy, so she's actually turning towards us. Hey brah, hey babe, what's up? So let's send her off into the distance. Thanks for the demonstration. Here's your marker. Oh. Oh, of course. So now what do? She actually reaches the marker, so it doesn't work this way. We need to make a infinite... Okay, she's... Yeah. Alright, I can dig it. Boop. Bon voyage. So as you can see, they will kind of remember which way they were going. They will never reach another marker. Goodbye. Hey Rosa. Rosa de Saron. Ruan, she's as you can see, she's still walking over there in the distance. She's going to your country, bro. She'll be waiting for you.
Boys, let's go.
And as you can see, she will probably stop right at the edge of the chunk. So you will the dust clouds. As you can see, the dust clouds have stopped. So she's still loaded in. If I move in that direction, the new chunks will load in, and she will be actually gone. So let's see what happens. She will start walking again, like this. See, and then she's off. We'll just say goodbye. It was nice knowing her. Yeah, they don't die. They just stop. They just stop. This way, if a player needs to catch up, you will be able to catch up. I can slowly see her. Well, now she's gone. Ruan, rip your waifu. Alright, so Alexi, here we go. This is the Alexi option. But when they're unloaded, they die. Well, they never die, but they will be unloaded indeed. Alexi, now comes your favorite part. It's a small touch, but it's absolutely cool. Alright, so Alexi, we're going with the, I think the builder. This is the builder. And we're going to make him black or red. Red. Don't ride the creature, not really necessary. You can also scroll wheel through this, and the builder without a mount is also listed, so you can easily use the scroll wheel or the buttons to also select no creature. The direction we'll have it move east. And now the cool thing, no, it's not making them killable. The NPCs will probably not interact with health or anything. But this is the cool thing. If you say next, boom, you can give it a name. So let's say this is Walter. What was the name? Oh yeah, so this way you can actually label all of your individual NPCs, and you don't have to make an account the shopkeeper anymore, or Valesi shop. Walter Walter Red. yeah bro, Walter Red. Walter Mo Jove or something like that. Jove Walter Move. More. Jove Walter Mo. No more Valesi Soldier. Yeah, no more Valesi Soldier indeed. That's what I wanted to prevent. More. Oh. Jove Walter More. Boom! And now we're going to spawn the dude. Walter Yo Mama. Got him. No more Valesi Blacksmith. Oh yeah, check it out. So they will always have the NPC tag. They won't have a country flag, and they won't have a level indication or anything. But as you can see, it will say, "My 3 hours making accounts are gone." Yeah. Sorry everyone. And as you can see, you can now actually interact with Joe Voltermore. He's a pretty cool dude. He walks around in Angeldust and he doesn't afraid of anything. So let's see if we control Jove. Let's see if we control him to go onto the walkway. Maybe we can trigger him like this, and then so he will see that one later, and then we bamboozle him. We bamboozle him onto the track as well. Come on, bro. Ah, you're not happy because it's not a ground level. Here we go. There's a decal for you. Come on. Yeah, then turn right. So now Joe Voltermore has joined the treadmill. Here we go. Joe's gonna go insane and walk to Pax Anima, just like in the lore. Yeah, man. So as you can see, they can actually stand in the same place. This is, I not really condone placing NPCs in this fashion, but as you can see, the one has got a little bit of a different timing to its programming. But there we go, Joe Voltermore. Come on, bro, move it.
Good times, man.
So Joe Voltermore is on the treadmill, and this way, as you can see, you can make a village where different dudes walk around. Like you can have a blacksmith, and you can have a dude and a dude and didn't. So the idea is, if I go into the shop, boop, and if I buy, so Angelio, this is like for you a special demonstration, kind of. Wooden planks. You already know what you're gonna do with the scout.
Hey there, I'm a mystery. How you doing?
So Angelio, this is going to be my demonstration. So to the north or to the east are good locations or good directions. Sorry. Oh, we can even. I will make you a complex demo, Angelio and Colts Walker and all of you. So we're actually going to make an NPC here. Let's see. Now we just need to dig in a hole here. How do I... Why does it... Dude. Firefly building.jpg. We need conduits. Like this. Boom, boom, boom. Injector over here. Now we just fill up this hole. I forget about it. Don't worry about it. I don't have a wonder badge. Yeah, I'm getting lost in my own game. It's my game is sick, bro. So this is going to be, let's see, this shop is going to be a magic shop with a sorceress. And the sorceress is going to sell us cool stuff, not on a creature. And she's going to be looking towards the north. And the name is the shopkeeper. Like this. So as you can see, it's pretty non-invasive now. So you could probably have something like a button outside or something that gets triggered on the chunk load or when people visit your build. So this gets triggered and the player moves into the shop and boom! There's like this, the shopkeeper. She's like standing right there and there's no weird stuff over here. Yeah, of course there's the decal now, but it's way less intrusive than the other one. You won't even see it in first person view like this. And if you place some shelves as well, let's see. Where are the shelves? Ruan, this also holds for your builds, of course. Stop going into your inventory. What about it? I don't know how this works. I just try my best, bro. So this looks now like a proper counter, and as you can see, this is why they are turning. This way the shopkeeper actually appears to be interacting with you. So if you're perusing the shop, if you're just walking around, she will go to her default rotation, or default orientation. But if you move closer and you're like, hey, I want to buy something off you, she's actually going to rotate towards you and you can kind of interact. Sell us some angel dust. Yeah. Need something. Yeah, you can probably also make this if you we need to make her move. It's been swell. Now you need to go. It's time for you to go, sorceress. Boop. Bon voyage. Huh? Why are you not moving? Why are you not moving? Was I too slow? Well, you can always walk this way.
Well, no rush. I'll just chant or something.
Oh, this is actually to her backside, so this is not going to work. This is actually to her back. Send them to Mexico along with the others. Ah, too slow, bro. If you had the power of teleportation, would you really choose a career as a shopkeeper? Yeah, of course I would, man. Bon voyage! Another one bites the dust. Okay, I'm just going to play with this a little bit more because I can. You can't.
I'm a mystery. How you doing?
I'm not more confused than Angelio, but it's like this is. Oh, I'm going to power. Oh, it actually selects the block if you click on it. Hey, that's pretty nifty. Very useful. Very useful. Welcome to my shoppy. It's going to sound British like this. I have no idea if this is going to work actually, so we want to spawn the dude from here.
Well, no rush. I'll just chant or something.
You're probably guessing what I'm getting at, right? So we want the shopkeeper to appear and then say something. But I'm not sure if this will work this way. To the north. Shopkeeper. Let's keep the British... oh, Kira, sorry, that's a typo. Oh, you might need a scran from a show. What? So now I want the shopkeeper to actually move to this position. But if I place a decal here, they will fall into the hole.
Well, no rush. I'll just chant or something.
Which is not exactly what I want.
Hey there. I'm
So I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Oh, no. It's all good, it's all good. It actually works, it actually works. Check this out. So, it actually works. Oh, this is Ivy now attached to that. So we might, for a shop, we might actually want to make this... let's see. We might want to stick a different decal there. What's cool on the shelves? A blueprint, yeah. That's what we're going to sell to the customer. A blueprint, where is it? Yeah, and this one sticks to the floor. Anyway, you get a floor lantern. Yeah, that's a good idea. It will light up the floor nicely. The lantern. There we go, a floor light. So now the shopkeeper will spawn. Will move towards this position because there's a decal over here. Then stop. They will still be facing north because they're moving that way. But they will have spawned and have said something. Check this out. Boom. Welcome to my shop. Oh. Alright, there's one more bug to figure out here. Because apparently... well, previously they didn't want to do this, but now they're doing it. See you later! I have no idea why that is happening. They should see this marker and then it should be stopping, right? Why are they seeing another marker? I have no idea. Anyway, you get the idea. So this is probably, maybe it's actually impossible to do it using the system, but this is what you'd want, sort of. Welcome to my shop. Keep it. Yeah. Understandable. Have a nice day. Yeah, the memes write themselves today, as you can see. But like the dude should spawn and then move over here, and this should count as a marker, right? It's at floor level. Oh, it's probably because there's a hollow scroll combined with a marker at the floor level. So maybe I need to special case that where there are different marker types at the below ground level and at the ground level. Because it will give preference to the hollow scroll, so it will say the message, but then it won't see the actual marker on the floor anymore. I can teleport. See ya. Also, one thing that I want to change, and we're going to spawn another one. Here we go. Boop. So you see this unknown sorceress thing, and that's not really nice. So what I want to change before release is to make sure if this ever gets released, is that the name of the dude is visible before they spawn. Welcome to my bye. Yeah. As you can see, it's all pretty good. Let's see if we can despawn those other dudes. Let's get 4 of them. Let's get 4 of these shopkeepers in here. As you can see, the telecharger spark was already visible, and they will probably despawn very soon. There we go. And now we have an entire... We've got a conga line of shopkeepers. Shopkeepers. Yeah, Joe is still walking. Save him. As you can see, the other ones are going to the rapture as well. See ya. Yeah, the conga line. Which makes it so that I can actually make this example work. So let's make the shop a little bit bigger. Because if at first you don't succeed, make it bigger. Boop. And now it will work. So the shopkeeper will spawn, it will say, hello, welcome to my shop. And then they will stand at the counter. Check this out. So it's kind of a convoluted setup this way. But that's the way it is. You can see women walking away from you. Very relatable. Yeah, for you, Space, maybe. So that's the idea. So maybe I should special case this so that if there's 2 markers, one underground and one above ground, that the NPC will see both. But I'm not sure. Maybe that will complicate things even more. But like I said, one thing that I want to fix is the name of the dude being spawned being visible before they spawn. Same thing if new players telecharge towards you, you will sometimes see like they type something and it will say like unknown sorceress types this or that. I want to fix that as well, so that the teleportation or telecharging messages are faster and more accurate. And the same with imitated creatures. Sometimes the dude will see them as not imitated until after a few seconds. So that's something I want to fix as well. So now we have two shopkeepers standing in each other. What happened to your face? Double shopkeeper. Yeah, this is... It's like, this is what happens. I wanted to demo this. I really thought I had something cool here. And I wanted to show you because it's been only a few days that I worked on this. See ya, ladies. And I wanted to show this to see if I was on the right track. What do you think so far? Is she making eye contact or not? Yeah, with 3 eyes. So is this the right track? Is this a good direction to take this feature into? There's more questions, which I will ask in a few moments. So the only one that we haven't spawned is a fighter, so let's make a Sinterklaas. Let's make a Sinterklaas here. Sinterklaas always rides on a white horse, but we don't have a white horse here. Going to the north. Here we go. We've got Sinterklaas. Here he is. The one, the only, the legendary. Let's see if you can also make it through the obstacle course. Oh, also, if they're on a mount, they will not dance, because they can't dance. They will flourish and they will halt. So that's what they do, but they will not dance, because they can't dance if they're on a horse. And he actually jumps. There you go. Sinterklaas, you're an example to your exemplary. Yeah, he jumped. Wouldn't it be possible, like, put the hologram later? Like, first time should stand there. What, Anthony? What do you mean, bro? Wouldn't it be possible, like, put the hologram later? Like, first time should stand there. Huh? Those are words. I know some of these words. Sorry, don't worry about it, but if you can explain it a little bit clearer, that would be nice. Okay, so one question I had was what to do with the photon system. I definitely agree that having underground injectors be triggered by the NPC, that would be the most natural way to do this. That's what you would expect, given the expectation set out by the other blocks. So that's definitely a good thing. That's fixed, solved. It's a solved issue. Faucets to kill him. Oh yeah, that's what I need to write down as well. Faucets to kill. Faucet is kill. It will be despawn, so you will. It won't be a kill, so it won't like actually die, but it will show the telecharger spark and it will despawn a little bit later. Yeah, removers and injectors. I want it to sit as well. So the most natural way for that might be to place a chair 2 blocks underneath so that the NPC can sit on the ground. Does that make sense? And should it remain stationary there, or should it like sit for 20 seconds and then move on? I love how we turn to the left to write down the injector thing and then to the right for the faucet. Yeah, I moved the list. I prefer the right first. If you would put the marker first and later she stood there and placed the hologram, would it work? But if you respawn in it, it won't stand there, so never mind. If you put the marker first and then later she stood there and placed the hologram, would it work? Is there a... Obi, I don't want to go overboard with all of that stuff, so... Chair is sit for 20 seconds, that's something that I can get into. And you could always make it loop, like make a loop, and then you could have it sit indefinitely. He is asking if it matters when you place the marker. No, as long as the NPC is around and if the marker is around, they will interact. So sitting down, But the problem is if you place a chair on top of the... So it would allow them to sit on the ground like this. So it would do F and E like this. I have no idea yet how to do it for chairs. And that's actually a bit of a problem, because it would be nice to have them sit on a chair. Frank has no hands? What? Yeah, will you add this to the beta or at the next version? Yes. Maybe just setting as a good first step. Because honestly, I can tweak this NPC logic on the server side, so if you have a good solution later on, I can just transparently add it, and like nothing of this is working on the client side. Yes to a beta or yes to the next version? Yes. Yes. Yes is the answer. This actually works on 3.12, so the version you're playing already supports this. You can't... Okay. It's just going to be added to the game. And even if you're on 3.12, you will not be able to place NPCs, but you will be able to see them, and you will see them do everything that they are doing right now. So if you get someone on a newer version to spawn the NPC or place the spawner, you're golden. But eventually all of the platforms will be updated to the new version, so don't worry about it. It will be coming to the game. So like I said, I want them to sit, but I don't know how to do that. But and one more thing, so this is not finished, but what I want to do is add a little bit of an extra. So this is all good, so selecting the dude you want. This is kind of where I have the problem. This is pretty cool. I mean, it's really nice to have 8 different colors for the NPCs and being able to select a mount for them. But what I really want here is to not only be able to enter a color number from 1 to 8, but I want you to be able to add a color code. Kind of like HTML, for instance, like 4, 6, 8, like this. And this won't be HTML, so it won't be an RGB code. I think like the builder has got 8-digit codes. And yeah, color codes would be nice, so that you would actually be able to set all of the colors individually. So you would say like, okay, the shield is red, his pants are blue, his armor is this, and then you can just get the exact dude that you want. This doesn't work at the moment, but it is an idea that I have. And that way you could make your own clan, and you could say to other people like, hey, if you want to show your support for my clan, or for my cause, or for my group, or for my kind of like style, you need to add a builder or a fighter NPC with this color code. Yeah, this would tie in with the not with the creature customizer. What this would tie into, I will show you how I'm planning this. So the idea would be that you enter a 6 to 8-digit code, depending on the hero type that you have, because some will have less colorized parts than others. For instance, because right now all of the NPCs have got the default skin color, which is good. I mean, this is the way they are designed, but it would be nice to have like different skin colors. For maybe you want your shopkeeper to have like a green skin, or maybe the blue skin. And maybe you want the fighter, like this fighter, to have different colored accents on his armor. So the Hollow Painter is actually... Oh yeah, so the Hollow Painter, I wanted to work with the NPC as well, but then placed underground again. So the Hollow Painter underground is also something I want to add. And you know why? Because the Hollow Painter, and that one will be limited to 8 different color schemes. Because then you can make a NPC that changes his outfit. So the name will remain the same. And but they will say like, okay, I will go change into something more comfortable, wink wink, and then they go into the closet or into a room, and then they come out in a different outfit. That would be nice. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure if that idea makes sense, Obi, but I will show you what I mean with the color code. So you would enter it on the second step, so you would say like the builder, and then you could, this would say enter the color number or code, and then you might have to add a hash before it, but I think it would be self-explanatory that if you enter multiple digits that it will be a color code instead of a color number. Yeah, the color code is something that I really want to add. It would add so much depth to the NPCs, and you would be able to have one NPC spawn in different wonders or in different builds, and due to the colors, it would be recognizable. Also, it allows you to add so much more depth to your lore and to your world. I will show you here. So, I'm in desktop view right now. I'm going to minimize the game for a moment. So, how it would work? It would... Dude, please don't ninja me. Please don't ninja me, Obi. Yeah, this is exactly how it's going to work. You go to this page, and below the builder, below this button, it would say like NPC color code, and then it would show the color code. So that way you can actually choose all of the colors that you want. You don't have to save it as your own character. You can use this for an alt account, for instance. But it would say NPC color code, and you would just write it down. I know it's a little bit old school. You would write it down, and then you would enter it into the game. Get it? So that would be how it works. Yeah, don't ninja me. This was what I was going to say. Also, you wouldn't need all of the colors purchased, so everyone would be able to spawn NPCs with all of the colors. There's not really much room for me to prevent that, or at least it might not even be something that I want to prevent. I think that the NPCs, because they're NPCs, you know it's not a player, so I think that having NPCs walk around with donator colors is not much of a big deal. So you would actually be able to color your character like this. You don't even have to press save. It will just interactively update the color code. If you don't have JavaScript, most people have got JavaScript enabled. If you don't have JavaScript, you might have to hit save to be able to see the updated code. But that's how it would work. And as you can see, for the scout you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 digits. So it will be a very simple code. It will just be the 6 numbers of the squares that you have here in hexadecimal notation. So that's why it would look like HTML. So the leftmost color would be 1. Like from top to bottom, you would have all of the colors. So this would be the first digit, second digit, third digit, fourth digit, fifth digit, sixth digit for the scout. And then from left to right, it would denote the numbers. So for instance, the color scheme that I had, let's go to the scout. You can actually deduce the color number from this without doing any math. Let's run Notepad. Just because we can. Let's zoom in. Let's make huge letters here. So the color code system would be very simple. You could easily deduce it. So the first digit is, we start at 0, that's what programmers do, so we start at 0. So the first digit here is 1, for the second color is 1. It sounds a little bit silly, but this is how it works. Then the skin would be 0, 1, 2, so the skin color is 2. The cape would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the computer would count for you, but this is just doing it manually. The dress and pouch is the same color index, so 5. Belt and boots are 5, and the gloves and boots are on 5. So this is the code that you would enter into the game. What about double digit numbers? That's why it's hexadecimal. So the 16th number or the 15th number would be an F, so it would be kind of HTML-ish. So if you would want to have the blue cape, this would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the 10 is actually A in hexadecimal notation, so that's A, B, C, D, E. So this would be an E. So then the cape, the third digit, becomes E. So this would be the color code. So this way, it's pretty easy, but you can share these on Discord, you can share these on the forums, like say, enter a scout with this code. Interessante. And if there are more colors in the future, we can just start labeling them. So after F comes G, H, I, J, K, L, and so on and so forth. So this would allow for up to at least 36 different colors. Yes, thank you for the rice and the eggs. Yes, Anthony, you're exactly right. So you also won't have to count manually. This code will just be displayed. Oh, this doesn't work on Windows, but this code would just be displayed under here. So it would say, can we do web development in this thing? Inspect element, here we go. We're going to hack it live. We're hacking the website. We're hackering. How do we get this in a separate window? Detach, separate window. Here we go. I'm Hacker Man. Here we go. Hacker Man, the greatest hero of them all. Can I insert an element? Insert. I want to insert something before this. How does this work? Create new node, here we go. It's a div, and it would say edit as HTML. Oh, here we go, here we go. H3 color code 12E555. Alright, so I hacked this. See this? So this is how it would work. It would say color code 12E55, but it would be on before the line here. So yeah, I know Uncle Roger. He's very bad. Oh, you can even drag and drop this. Here we go. Color code, and then we just add a BR in front of this. This is not the best HTML that I've ever written, but you're putting me. What? Why is this not? Do I need to insert another element? Yeah, you get the gist. You get the gist. Add it as HTML. Let's add the BR in front. Then I can do this. So the problem is actually solved. You see, so it would say color code, and this would interactively update if you scroll over the letters. Let me zoom in a little bit here, like this, and it would say NPC color code or something like that, and you would know, okay, this is the code that I can enter into the charger or into the photon imitator, and it would work. See, so this is, like, I'm not promising that this is ever going to be there. As you can see, it's a development stream, so it's all work in progress, and it's all maybe not coming to the game. Today I will hack my own website, but first let me log into my administrator account. Yeah, indeed. So this is how it would work. It would be very... Yeah, I can do the JavaScript as well, but let's not go there. So this is the best idea that I have. It would make it less intrusive in the game, so you don't have to click through 10 dialog boxes to select colors for minuscule areas that you can't see. So we've got the user interface for this already, so let's reuse it for the moment. And then you just enter the code into the game. You write it down, or you can share it with your friends even. This would be awesome, yeah. So this way, like Alexi has made a Crimson Cultist, I think, was the account. So Alexi made all of these designs, so maybe you want to see these characters come alive in the real world now, or in the Angeldust world, and then you can just copy over the color codes into the photon imitator, and you will get these exact dudes in there. Yeah, add copy paste. Yeah, I've been thinking about that. So one thing that I thought up was maybe have the right mouse button be a paste button. I think that would solve all of the problems. That sounds nice, right? So you would have the code on your clipboard, and then you would just right mouse click on this instead of left mouse click. That would be nice. It might also work for the text input. Do note that Sinterklaas has been spamming the chat a little bit. And it would also solve the problem for people wanting to paste their password from their password manager. So let me write this down as well. So right mouse button is paste. It would be a small convenience feature. It wouldn't work on mobile phones, it wouldn't work on tablets, unless they kind of simulate the right mouse button. But it would be something if you're on the mouse, like most people on a desktop computer will use password managers with copy paste. So I think that would make sense. Hey shopkeeper. Yeah, I'm writing it down. The way to mute NPC in the context manager? No, that's not here. No, in fact, they were showing up here somewhat. So in the telecharger they would show up as friends. So you'd have this entire list of NPCs as friends. Well, it would actually only be one because they all share a kind of like fake account on the back end, sort of. So they wouldn't have an account number as regular players. So they would show up as friends in your contact or in your friends list, and you would be like, huh? Who are these friends? Who are these people? Yeah, so you can't mute them, but you don't want to. If they start spamming you, just report the build, and I will take a look eventually. Oh yeah, so one more question. The walking speed. I've currently limited to about 60% of a player. No, you can't teleport to them. The walking speed. I've currently limited to about 60% of the player, so that you can actually always catch up with them, and they do not seem to sprint ahead of you if they say like, hey, please follow me, because you can use the quick messages to say follow me. I feel the pace is pretty comfortable, so you can actually like walk next to them, you can even get a little bit in front, and you can just keep an eye out on where they're going. I think this pace is pretty good. Hey Angelio, welcome. So I think this pace is pretty good. It's like I said, it's about 60% of a regular player. I'm not sure if mounted NPC should go faster than the walking counterpart. But it's pretty cool, right? And you can always use sprint. Yeah, you can always use sprint to make them, or like to catch up with them anyway. But this way, they can get ahead, but you can still catch up with them if you want. So a little bit faster for mounts. Hey, that's good news, Angelio, congratulations. So 70% walk speed, or at least a little bit higher for mounts. Speed mounted. Yeah, but then the problem is you can't synchronize groups of NPCs with horses and with without horses anymore, or with mounts or without mounts. I will take a look, Maybe I will just scale back the player speed on a mount by 60% as well. It might not be 70% of the thing, but we'll see. Yeah, I wouldn't mind, Angelio. There's so much things that I've showed. You need to watch the entire stream. There's so much information packed together.
Looks like you could use an extra blade.
All right, so I think that answers like most of my questions. One moment, I'll be right back.
Are you even there? Getting paid to stand around? Sure, why not?
Yeah, getting paid to stand around? Sure, why not? Let's see, so... yeah, there was this one hair that was just falling down, like this. Here we go. That's how you do it. Firefly was talking about your ma'am.
How may I be of service?
You're looking at it. You're looking at it, Angelio. So anyway, I think I've got like all my questions. The sitting thing is like the only difficult thing that I've left. Placing a chair underneath, that would be nice. And then like having it sit for 20 seconds or so and then resume walking, that would seem cool. Sitting on a chair, not sure how to do this. Yeah, like the color code, that's a good thing. The injectors removers below to trigger. I think that would be able to work. Photon faucet for despawning is also a good idea. Holo painter should work as well. Right mouse button for paste. The mounted speed a little bit higher. Not sure if I'll be able to pull that off, but I'll see what happens. Oh yeah, so one thing that you can do, which is pretty fun, is you can actually west. Let's see, west. You can actually use conveyor belts to work against them, which is pretty fun. Praying with no hands. What is this no hands joke about?
No time to waste. Let's go.
Check it out. I can't move forward on these conveyors since my speed is a little bit lower than a player's. I'll think a little bit more about the sitting thing. There probably might be a like really obvious solution that we're not seeing right now. I think placing a chair underneath would be a very good idea, but not exactly sure where to take that. What again? Can't you see my hands if I do that motion?
Why aren't we going?
You can see my hands. No, forget about it. Forget about it. I'm being trolled here. I'm being trolled hard. Yeah, that's the idea, Anthony. If you place an injector below the NPC, it will actually trigger it. So if you place this underneath the path, like this, and if you were to make a photon conduit out of it, like this, it would actually trigger it when it's moving over this spot. Yeah, I'm not sure if the direction it would be facing if it's sitting is that important. There's probably a better use for the conveyor belt. Also, the conveyor belt has got this... oh, this also holds for the holo scrolls, I think. Like maybe the conveyor could make a strafing motion possible or something, so that you could have a... so that it wouldn't have to take corners, but it would actually be able to strafe to the left and to the right. Yeah, Angelio, to accommodate you, they can be on the surface as well. That's what I demoed. You can either use photon blocks below ground, if you're making a new build. You can use different kinds of blocks to have different kinds of behavior. The treasure block will make them dance. The counter will make them flourish and pause for a while. Trampoline will make them jump. The holo scroll will make them say something. You can even use quick messages, so they will say quick messages. But there's also a system, it's not interactive, but at least you can make the routing above ground using decals, using the stickers. Yeah, there's many things that we can consider. Right now I think that we've got a very fun functional list, and maybe future editions will be coming. But this way you already know that, like, if you want to use NPCs to their fullest, you need to have a false floor. And it doesn't need to be 3 above ground like this, but you can also, of course, place the control blocks on the water and then have the floor be on the 2nd level. But Angelio, I will try to make a demo at ground level, so that you can see how that works. We'll see. I've got a few good answers already, but sitting is definitely something that's that's desired, right? So I will write down sitting 20 seconds.
They should get going.
But my main gripe is how to get them to sit on a chair. That's my main problem. How do we get them to sit on a chair? Okay, so I'm going to send this shopkeeper off. So Angelio, if they're idling, so as you can see, NPCs can either be on a track or they can be moving depending on what's nearby. The photon block state also makes them either see the marker or not, so you can toggle them on and off with an injector, so their pathing will dynamically change. This one doesn't have any routing underground, so this is all not photon blocks underground, so they will actually use the decals for navigation, like this lantern. And as you can see, if they're idling, so we had a shopkeeper with this counter, like this. So this is, for instance, if you have an existing shop where you want to add a shopkeeper. If they're idling, they will actually rotate towards the player, so you can actually make them appear as an actual shopkeeper, like this. And now I'm able to screen share in Discord with mobile. I can screen share Angeldust now. I joined the tester in Discord. This is why I can't screen share on mobile. Thank you. Congratulations, Anthony. Yeah, Angelio, especially for you, I made a system that works with the decals. So you will need to do a little bit of planning, and you will need to do a little bit of routing for this. But you can, they will look for decals, and they will actually walk using them. So as you can see, the shopkeeper now sees this one. We can make her go full circle, I think, if we do it like this. So she will pick up the entire path and then start walking. Oh, she's gone. Why is she gone? Why did she Why did she go? We don't know. Another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Let's try to remove all of the sources of... Oh, it's the same thing with the hollow scroll. So there's a hollow scroll below ground. Here we go. We're adding a new one. Also, the photon imitator has changed appearance. So this is the way you add NPCs. Angelio, you select the dude you want. So let's say we want another sorceress. You choose the color you want. This will probably be expanded in the future. You can make them right a mount if you want, but we're going to do one without a mount. You can choose a starting direction, so even if you don't have a path for them, they will face the right direction. So we're going to make this one face east. And then we call this one Angelio's waifu. Oh, waifu, that's not good. Angelio's waifu. There you go. And then we place an injector next to it. Boom. As you can see, the photon imitator is now a decal as well, so it's way less visually intrusive. We can remove the spawning thing. So, Angelio, this is your waifu, and this is the way you can actually add it to existing builds. So you don't need special stickers like any will do. I use the crosses here, because I think they're pretty visually impressive. But if you use the ivy, for instance, she will pick it up. So you can make this, you can kind of hide this, especially if you start adding decals in like non-orthogonal places like this. I'm overdoing it a little, but as you can see, you can kind of hide the pattern and they will still walk their round based on the original markers. If you had your neighbor's plot, I keep feeding NPCs to your loop. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. So as you can see, you can use these, and in your build, you've used a lot of these steel frames and golden frames. And I also saw you place how are they called? The rugs? Yeah, these rugs. So you have these rugs in your build as well, and they all work. They all work as markers for the NPC. So let's place this rug. And it still works, and you can use the frame as well. So don't worry about it. They will scan for those things, and as long as you make sure that they form a coherent pathway, they will be following them. Yeah, I can really confuse you, Angelio, if you want me to. But watch the beginning of the stream, and you will see it. You will see all of the things get introduced piece by piece. But as you can see, it works with all decals, and it's just following its pathway. And I think we can even have a NPC on the second pathway as well. So having it walk, we need to move this ivy sticker over to this side. And then we of course need to close the ground a little bit. But we could use a thin block for this. So I think we can add a second NPC that starts to the east from here, which will go over the other part. And also, Angelio, if you want a truly minimalistic spawn setup, you can now place the decal on top of the... Let's add a scout. You can place the decal on top of the other, or on top of the imitator. Let's keep it as a scout to the east. And this one is Angelio's waifu. Right, if we spawn this one, it will actually walk on the second. Oh, we need to get it to go on ground level. We can do this. Well, go ahead. And she will actually... The paths are now interlinked, as you can see. I think that's pretty spiffy. And we can make the red one say something if we just place a hollow scroll over here. So let's make her say hello. Quick message number 1. And now, as you can see in the chat, she is saying hello every time she passes that hollow scroll. And yes, they will get confused with existing stickers, but please note that they only look at the ground level, so they will only look for stickers at their feet. So a lot of your decorations might be on walls and higher up, or might be lower. So you might not have to do that much work to make it actually route your entire build. And also, most of these frames are on your main lanes already, so if you get an NPC to like hook onto that lane, it will just keep on following all of those stickers forward without any problem, without any changes to your build even. Can we make the NPCs make little kids? Not at the moment. What you can do is go to the thing and then select the cartoon visual style, of course, because we've been playing in the 3D visual style, and as you can see, doesn't matter what device you're on, even if you're on Android in the cartoon visual style. Of course, the NPC system works entirely the same. It would be fun to, maybe it might be fun to make the NPC scale, to have an NPC scale as well, so that you could make them 50% of their normal size, and they would look like kids. Hey Firefly, I love Angeldust. Hey Anima Junior, welcome. I mean, the pets in the game are smaller versions of the actual creatures, so maybe there should be kid NPCs as well.
How may I be of service?
Firefly suggestion, may you sit for a random amount of time between 10 seconds and 20? How about you go sit down for a random time between 10 seconds and 20?
Wow, this is exciting.
It's actually pretty cozy this way. I mean, the people are running around, there's definitely some liveliness to the build now. Well, randomness is bad, you said last week, Obi. Yeah, there's no way to, there's currently no way for the NPCs to damage any other things, and there's no way for other things to damage the NPCs. They kind of live in their own happy little world. You can interact with them using the photon blocks, of course, but other than that, it's like entirely a self-contained system, so to speak. In all, I think it's a pretty cool addition to the game. It really adds a lot of flair, and especially if we implement the color codes, it would be a nice addition that you could design characters and show them off in the world. Because if you're playing, you're only one of your 4 heroes, and maybe you've got just this awesome design for a different hero, and you can't really show it off. But if you add it to your build, and for instance Alexi maybe wants to instantiate one of his RPG characters or one of his lore characters, you can now actually add the dude to the game. It's so cool.
Lead on.
Yeah, something that makes an NPC appear to be fighting. It's something I considered. It's pretty hard to do because some of them have different attacks. Like the sorcerers can do like a melee attack with the lightning wand, and they can do the havoc storm. And the scout has got different bows to attack with, and they should spawn projectiles, otherwise she would just be like raising the bow. It's pretty hard to pull off a convincing fighting system, Angelio. I built an ice wall with my friends. It was amazing. I love this game. You're welcome, Anima. Alright, so anyway, this was what I wanted to show you. There's many directions to take this, and there's many things that we can add and improve on this. But I think it will offer a way to integrate into existing builds by using the decals system, the decals for navigation. Angelo, like the navigational problem of existing builds isn't as bad as you might think that it is, because the decals need to be on orthogonal lines to the NPC, and especially on orthogonal lines of the other decals. So it won't continuously scan for decals, it will only scan for new markers when it's standing on a decal. So I think the problem is not as bad as you think that it might be. My friend was asking what was your first anime. Me forgets that I have watched Bakugan or Pokemon, and I say I don't remember after I'm home, and in my mind, ooh, now I remember. Yeah, that happens a lot. That happens a lot.
By your command.
Anyway, so this was the first version that I wanted to show. I think it's already a very promising start. There's ways to improve this, there's a way to extend it. But I think if we get a initial version working, then the additional logic can be programmed into the server transparently. So different things that you can add undergrounds, like different things that happen when you place things underground, that's entirely addable later on. That doesn't require a client update. This almost doesn't require a client update. It will work perfectly fine in 3.12. There will be a few cosmetic issues, so the photon imitator block won't be the small one. The NPC will show up in the friends list in your telecharger, and a few other places maybe. But other than that, it will actually work in 3.12 as well. It's pretty, like the color code system would be very nice. That would be great, and there's a few like minor cosmetic issues that I still want to tweak. But in all, it looks like a very solid addition, I think. Yeah, I can't please everyone, Angelio. I can't please everyone. I tried my best to make it integrate with existing builds, and that's it. Like I said, if you go ahead and start delivering newspapers like every morning, like in 1 week or 2 weeks, you will be able to buy the other game, and you will have a lot of fun in that game. So if that's your end goal, to play the other game, I think your goal in life should be to work towards that. I mean, I can't offer you the other game. I don't have 2.5 billion or even more, and I don't have access to its IP, so I would like to see more characters or weapons and even new skills. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. But first things first, first this. And then I still have a 4.x beta to finish. Anyway, I'll exit out of the game. So this is kind of like what I wanted to show you today. I hope it was satisfactory. Let me hide some of the secret stuff here. I need to re-enable the game replays like this, and I need to enter my Firefly name again. And I should be able to sign into the game using this. Let's see if it actually works.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
No time to waste, let's go. Here, this is alternate Firefly. Check it out. This is a Firefly that actually bought stuff from the shop. Still doesn't have everything, but it's better than you expected. Well, that means something, Ruan, sorry. That's something. Nice buildings, bruh. I have no idea where this leads. I was just interested in visiting this. Quanta lotteria? Quanta minuta? Lotteria, Firefly. Alright, cool world, cool story, bro. Yeah, I'm not sure where we are here at the moment, but it looks like a pretty cool, cool thing. Firefly, this is my house, welcome. Alright, let's sign out of the game. Options, enable the game replays. Oh yeah, this is a minor tweak that I did. If you go to the options menu from the sign in form, the cinematic mode options are actually hidden, because they don't actually do anything on the sign in form. So I thought, like, let's just remove them. There will be new options coming in version 4, so I thought, like, let's get rid of some old ones. There will be a shadow detail option, for instance. Minuta Loteria, yes, yeah. Also, let's game replays. Let's do it well.
No time to waste. Let's go.
Another feature that I'm working on, and this don't tell anyone about this. View distance. It doesn't work really well in version 3, but it's amazing in version 4. I talked about this last week. Don't tell anyone that I'm working on this. Quando vai bater loteria? Maravilla, vermina maravilla. So if you go into cinematic mode, you all know and love this. I mean, this works. This is pretty cool. But in the new version with the dynamic game world shadows, I thought it would be really cool to have a time-lapse kind of effect. So I built that into the game as well. So between, right at midnight, there's a new option now. You go to midnight and then you go to the time-lapse option. And then, as you can see, it doesn't work too well. That's why I had to lower the view distance, so it actually re-renders pretty quickly. But as you can see, the sun is actually moving in real time now. Of course, it's always moving in real time. It's actually going a little bit faster now. But this way you can see the shadows just move around, and it's pretty lovely for making footage of builds. So you can actually capture an entire day in about 10 or 20 seconds. Which is a pretty cool effect. So you also see the like pre-rendered shadows in this version constantly move, which is pretty cool. Firefly, come to mi maravilla. Fermina maravilla. Vamos. So anyway, so it's a time-lapse mode, so you can... It looks better in version 4, but I compiled this for version 3. But it's there, it's a new one, so you can still go back, so you can go through the entire day range, or like entire range of hours from this menu. But there's a new time-lapse option just at the turning of the day. Let's go back to insane or immense, there we go. 3D visual style. Sorry, space. But I like the 3D visual style with all of the effects in the new version. Yeah, there's a real-time option as well, in the sense that it the real in-game time. There's no time option to make it go like not fast, like in real life. Right, so expect that color code thing to kind of work, hopefully, in the next version. Expect holo painters to also work for the NPCs. Faucet to despawn them sounds like a good idea. The let's see, right mouse button for pasting sounds like a good idea. I hope it doesn't lead to spam in the chat. That's like one of my biggest gripes, but we will be able to... game replays, I've already taken care of that. I hope that pasting doesn't like make things spammy. The cinematic mode is really well made, thank you. I try my best. Sitting for the NPCs is something that I consider. I think it should be as easy as placing a chair below and that having that block influence their programming. Now you might say, how do they sit on a chair? And that's a good question. I have no idea how to make them sit on a chair with that system. I'll have to think about that. Yeah, conveyors for strafing. I kind of dislike making the conveyors do something because the block is animated. And that animation will still play even if the block is underground, I think. So that's not what's got my preference. It's not really what I want. And now you might say the holo scroll is also animated, and you'd be absolutely right. So I didn't really think that through. But somehow I don't feel that the conveyor belt should be doing that. But it might be what we need. He did it again. Yeah, sorry. I've got a video by Loki the Witful explaining the NPC system. So please take a look at this. This is only a little bit how the holo NPC... Sorry. Let's read this again. This went too quickly. This is only a little bit how the holo NPC works in 2D. Angelio, this is for you. It's custom made. Warning, this may not be the final result of the holo NPC. Made by Loki the Witful. Here we go. So this explains how it works, Angelio. This is for you. Time to program the NPC. This step is always active. Look at 90 degrees, step 1. Look forward. If marker, then move to it and go back, step 1. If no marker, then go to step 2. Step 2, look right. If marker, then move to it and go back to step 1. If no marker, then go to step 3. Step 3, look left. If marker, then move to it and go back to step 1. If no marker, then go step 1. So a lot of time and effort went into this. Like Loki spent a lot of time making all of these steps. And as you can see, it will actually go through the programming and what it's checking and what it's doing, and it's all screenshots, and it's kind of like a time-lapse. I think the animation looks a little bit cleaner if you play it at a fast playback speed. It's more frames per second, like this. And it looks really fun, but a ton of time went into this. Maybe not as much as I put into making my demonstration of the system, but it's still a lot of time and effort going into this and explaining how it works. Yeah, and Giulio had enough, I think. He was like, okay, if they can't fight, I'm just gonna go. I didn't want to be here anyway. It's really well made and definitely took a ton of time. So that's why I'm showing it. Loki, thank you very much. Like I wrote in the email as well, thanks very much. You put in a lot of time and effort to making this. I also have a similar demonstration which I showed on the stream. The end. Boom. Internet problème. Oui, oui, monsieur. Okay, I wanted to stream for an hour. It's 2 hours already. We made it though. We made it, which is a good thing. So yeah. Oh yeah, one more thing that I can show you. Problem. One thing that I can show you. Oh, I already signed out. Maybe I can show you using the Firefly account. Game replays off. Don't forget to turn it back on.
Let's go.
So a little or a side consequence of the new photon imitator system is that you can actually... Do I have enough money? Yes. So a small change here is that if you have a door, and who doesn't have doors, let's see. Let's make a steel vault door because that looks pretty intimidating. So you can now actually, and this I do not recommend this, but you can now actually use the... Oh, I need to go to this side. Let's just, yeah, let's just, any creature will do. You can now place... I don't know why, or it's just like for consistency's sake. You can place the photon imitator logo or icon onto a door of your choice, like this. Check it out. So you can make a very intimidating looking door, or you can mark a room like, okay, this is going to be the spawn room. It's entirely cool. It just works like all of the other doors, as you can see. Pretty cool, right? And they will even work. That's the scary part about this. They will even work. So if you make an NPC out of this, or a small creature, let's see if we can find one. A frog. That's a small creature. So this will actually work if you place a injector next to it. A injector, boom, here we go. Check it out, there will actually be a frog spawning because this block over here is the actual imitator, even though it doesn't look like it. Boop. Wow. Boom! Oh, and now we also get a ball, 3 balls here. And this is how you jumps our people. Yeah, jumps our people, man. Oh, jump scare. Anyway. Oh, this ball is now just bouncing around everywhere. Doesn't really matter. So you can now use it for as a decoration on a door. So thanks to Loki and Colts for all of the ideas and suggestions. I think it all came together quite nicely in the system. The base is there. It took me about like this entire week to make it because I was really enthusiastic about the NPC ID last week. I think we finally have all of the pieces to make it work. With the hollow scroll, with the decals, I was now able to make the photon imitator smaller. So I think everything now comes together. And the programming underground is just so much fun to do with the dancing, with the flourish, with the waiting, hopefully the sitting soon as well. It's so good. It's all coming together, and as you can see, it's just very fun to start fiddling around with this. If I went back through University to add every new block, I would still be working on the same house. Yeah. Alright, so Loki, it's on my other computer, so this one is going into the trash. Not personally, and this one can go into the trash as well, because hopefully next week I can demo a new version, or maybe in 2 weeks we will even release it. So this was the stream for today. I didn't really have anything to do with hunting or with like gameplay features. Yeah, this is of course a gameplay feature for the builders. And I think it's entirely cool for other players as well to be able to interact with wonders and with new builds in entirely new ways. There's probably things that I haven't discovered yet. I did discover a lot of cool things and cool tricks, and I programmed a lot of tricks myself already. There's probably things that I haven't discovered yet, so looking forward to what players are going to do with this. I think it will integrate well into existing builds. I think it will integrate really well into new builds where you can plan this false floor ID of having like one like crawl space below your build where you can do all of the NPC programming. Not sure how maintainable it will be, so maybe you will want to make the crawl space like 4 high so that you can actually walk below it and see all of the machinery and debug it and tweak it where necessary. Not really sure like where to take it, but I think it's a great addition. And like the cool thing, Ruan, there was also a part where I kind of specially thought about you. So in Valesi or in the other one, you have all of these NPCs that you already made, and the kind of shops, and like the tailor, and you've got the barber or whatever, and the soldier. I kind of made the system to also be functional in builds like that. So if you are able to place an injector outside of your shop or outside of your the houses in your build, you could make it so that it actually spawns a NPC inside of the shop. You can make it walk outside of the shop, do a turn, like maybe face the player for a moment, walk back inside, and then walk like behind the counter of the house. I think it will integrate really well into smaller houses within bigger builds as well, so that you can make individual injectors that the player just stands on, like a doorbell of sorts, and then the NPC comes outside, welcomes them, says a voice line, well, welcome to the shop or something, and then goes behind the counter. And I am really looking to make sitting on a chair a possibility as well. So maybe that one will have to scan 3 blocks deep instead of 2 blocks deep. Like, is there a chair below my chair, below the ground, and then a chair? So maybe that's the way that should work. And then they would sit on the chair for like an unlimited amount of time. What you could do is, if you place a slab, you are able to play an injector or something else that is the same height as the slab place. You will see, you will see. You could use a slab with a hollow scroll under it, but the top of the scroll would be visible. Yes. I have to think about how I'm going to teach Brazilian players to use all this. Yeah, this will come eventually. I think I will add some of this to the Angeldust Creator Kit. Let me write that down so I don't forget. So, the Angeldust Creator Kit can go into more detail here. Like add an NPC, do tricks with the NPC. I think we can have some documentation on that there. I think that would be the best place. The Creator Kit is, of course, for the players who are really advanced at building and who really want to do cool stuff and cool technical tricks in the game. Yeah, I'm always thinking about the chair below the chair. That's what I do, man. I'm the chairman. So if Hum is watching this, he's probably like, ship it. We want to start playing with this. It's very close to shipping. I want to finalize the user interface touches for this. And then it's a matter of seeing like how quickly I can get it through the App Store reviews and if that's still even possible, because I haven't submitted new binaries in about, what is it, half a year or so. We've been playing 3.12 for quite a while now while I was working on 4.x. So it's going to be a challenge getting a new client out for all of the platforms. I will try my best. Don't worry though, if you've got 3.12, you will still be able to play. You will be able to see the NPCs, you will be able to see all of the magic. If you get someone else to place a NPC spawner, a photo imitator spawner for the NPC that you want on your build, you're also golden, because then you can do all of the programming yourself. You just won't be able to place NPC imitators in 3.12. You will need the new version for that. That's all. So it will all work in the old version with minor side effects of like cosmetics and aesthetics, but it's entirely the same game still. NPC kids would be sick. They could be 1 block tall and hide in little holes. Yeah, that's one more thing. So I wanted, and we solved this problem during the live stream. I wanted the NPCs to be able to interact with the world in a way that players couldn't, so that you would actually need an NPC to enter areas in the world that you can't get. And we fixed it. We solved it. OB, you did it. It kind of came naturally, kind of at the same time maybe that we were thinking about it. Placing the injector below the ground, so hiding it below the ground, where it will activate. That's the genius move here, since that allows the NPC to go into places where the player normally can't go. And that's like the best. That's the best. That's what I wanted. I was thinking about making the NPC a little bit shorter maybe than the player, so he could go into smaller holes and like the kid NPC ID that we had. But this is now solved. The NPC can trigger a door lock that the player can't unlock themselves. Like I said, Angelio, you probably want to buy the other game. That's no problem. I mean, I appreciate all the time we spent together, but I can't offer you the other game. I don't have 3 million or 3 billion, in the bank. I can't buy the other game and give you that for free. That's not entirely possible. I've got my game, I go my way. And I can fully understand, and it's no problem that we go in different directions from here. If you want to be happy in life, and if you want something else, you should go for it. That's my best advice. So it's not even meant like as a diss or as something. It's just like, if you want another game, go and play that. Life's too short to spend time on things that you do not enjoy. So this is what I'm making. This is where I'm going. This is what I want to do. I think I've always been very open and honest about what I'm working on, what I'm doing, and what I'm showing. There's a few things that are under wraps that I can't show you at the moment, or don't want to show you at the moment, rather. But other than that, this is where I'm going. So if you don't like that, or if it's not to your liking, that's kind of the same thing, isn't it? It's no problem. Just like I said, deliver a few newspapers, you'll be playing the other game in no time. Seriously. Don't worry about it. Yeah, so I just removed the version from my desktop, so I can't show you. But oh yeah, also the injector doesn't work at the moment, so I wanted to show you something that's going to work, but that's not programmed yet. But this is, you could make a very simple photon door with 2 blocks, where the NPC would just walk to the door, not through the door, but to the door. The NPC would trigger an underground injector, which would, like, it's a very simple schematic even. It would unlock the door, and both the NPC and the player would be able to get in there. This is exactly the thing that I wanted the NPC to be able to do, to open doors and open pathways for the player that you can't normally reach. And that's brilliant. That's brilliant, Obi. It's great. No. Angelia said, like, I support the work, but there will be a lot missing, and I hope it gets better. But that's not. It's actually on top of the screen. I will read it here. Honestly, this is Angelio Castelli. Here, I will copy it. Boom. I will show you. Before we get into any misunderstandings, there are no misunderstandings, and again, it's absolutely no problem. Word wrap. Here we go. This is a direct quote, and there's only one way you can interpret this. Honestly, I support your NPC work. It might be a lot missing right now for some people like me, but I think this is going to be but I thought in time the NPC will get better, and I can't wait to see that progress. Alright, so don't expect the world. This is the problematic part. There is a lot missing right now. So I don't feel like there's a lot missing. There's a few things that I still want to add. Other than that, there's not a lot of things missing, and that's why I say, like, okay, if you want something completely different, don't look around here. It's not seriously. What I'm showing you is what is going to be in the game. There has never been any dev stream where I showed you something and you got something completely different. I'm not a troll, and I'm not a I don't do that. That's not my jam. I show you what I make, and I stand behind this. I wouldn't have showed you today if I didn't believe in it. I didn't believe in that it was a good addition to the game. But this is what it's going to be. So you can, like, even before it's released, you can draft your course for the rest of your life. Yeah, anyway, don't worry about it too much. Yeah, I'm a real pro with Notepad. Also, does it disable word wrap? Oh, no, there we go. Boop. Anyways. So this was it. I think this is will you stream tomorrow too? No, tomorrow is Sinterklaas. Seriously. Maybe you haven't seen Sinterklaas just yet. Let's go to Bing today. Sinterklaas and Zwarte Piet. Here we go. Check it out. So that's why I picked the red fighter, because he's got kind of like this helmet ID. I'm not sure if this is like the exact Sinterklaas that I wanted to show you. More options. Please, no, none of this. Not sure. What is this? Here we go. So I'm not sure if this is like the exact best example of Sinterklaas and Zwarte Piet, but this is like the Sinterklaas dude. This is only for educational purposes. So this is Sinterklaas. This is like the Saint Nicholas, or whatever you might call him. He's apparently from Turkey or from from Spain. Sorry, I have no idea. And this is Black Piet, Zwarte Piet. Yeah, it's Dutch, and it's culturally. This is like our cultural history. Sinterklaas is Zwarte Piet, and there's many Piets. So there's only one Sinterklaas, only one of the dude on the right, but there's many NPCs and NP Piets and NPCs. There's a lot of these dudes, and they hand out the presents for the children and the candy and stuff. And this is like the book of Sinterklaas, which is literally a book, and supposedly there's a list in there of all the people who've been naughty and nice. Sounds familiar, and what people wanted for as a present. Bing, the best site to Google things. Yeah, indeed. Miklaj in Parkli. There we go. Sinister Claus is more like a Spanish priest. Yeah. Yeah, NPC. That's kind of like Black Pete is his name. Angeldust is his game. There we go. So anyway, this was the stream for today. Hope you enjoyed this sneak peek at things to come. Loki, if you're watching this in the future, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it kind of like connects with your idea of the NPC. Coldswalker, thanks for the suggestion of making the photon imitator more visually simple. I think it's now really streamlined with the decal property to it. It took a little bit of finessing to make this work. So on the server side, it gets completely treated differently than on the client side. But that's entirely cool. That's why we have a client and a server. So the block has got different properties for both sets of programs. And it's really cool to see it actually work. So I think the visuals of the photon imitator are now much better than before. So thanks for that suggestion. That's a really good suggestion, and I think it makes the entire NPC thing come together nicely. There are many Pete's, but only one Black Pete. No, there's many of the... Yeah, thanks Space is Green for being awesome. Give a like to Space. This is the big thumbs up. Go ahead and like Space is Green if you want. I take my hat off. I already had it off. But yeah, so there's a few things that I need to add, and most of the time, in my experience, all of these little tweaks and all of these little additions, they take up the most of the time. So the grunt work of this, getting the navigational system up and running, took me about 3 or 4 days, and today I spent polishing some of the interactions with the blocks, like the dancing and with the flourishing, with the idling, so rotating towards the player. It all takes so much time to get it absolutely perfect, and then still, as you can see what happened on the stream, a few times the NPC just went off and just the machine wasn't as flawless as I thought. But that's probably my programming in the game that's wrong. It's also really cool. It's actually some sort of visual programming language in the game. You can't make actual computer programs, of course, but I do feel that you can make really cool things with this now, especially once the NPCs start triggering injectors and unlocking doors. That's going to be so cool to see. Maybe I have to add an example of that to the starting village, so that you see an NPC move to a door, open the door, and then disappear. That would be a really cool example. Yeah, thumbs up with no... What's with the no hands meme? I have no idea what I will look it up after the stream. So I'm going to take a shower, I'm going to take a rest. I've been streaming way longer than I thought I would be able to handle, but it was really worth it. We made some good decisions, I think. I was able to show you a lot of cool stuff that I already worked on. I really enjoyed, Obi, that you said, like, hey, if you place a hollow scroll underground, or would you make the NPC recite it? I was already miles ahead of this because I had some time to think about this properly. And I hope the entire system seems decent. So one kind of like issue with the hollow scroll under a block is that you need to have these full cubic blocks, so it won't work for tables. So you kind of need to space out and plan this. Hey, how did you implement patching? Patching what? Tinspin asks on Twitch. What, patching what? I enjoyed my ginger nuts, seriously, and tomorrow I will be eating lots of ginger nuts. The game! Yeah, patching what? Like, huh? On Steam, there's like delta diffs that Steam does. On the app stores, like Mac App Store and the iTunes App Store, Apple handles the delta diffs. So it's just binary diffs that get applied to your local device. On the Google Play Store, I have no idea what they do, but I think that Google just sends out like binary diffs to the APK as well. On Itch, I just upload a entirely new version, so you just download a new, completely new version of the game. It's self-contained, and I think that's all of the stores that we're on. Steam, Mac App Store, iTunes App Store, Google Play Store, and Itch. I think it's 5 stores, yeah. So on Itch, I don't do any patching. It's just like a completely new build, and self-contained package. I think that's the best thing. Hey, Tenspin, you missed the early part of the stream, the first 2 hours, first 2.5 hours almost. We were looking at NPCs in the game, so I implemented a NPC system with navigational markers and ability to kind of copy actions that players have, saying things, using quick messages, flourishing, dancing, jumping, like all kinds of cool stuff that you can do in the game. You can now program NPCs to do. You can have them like do dynamic path finding or marker finding. So it's not actually path finding in the sense that you give them a goal and they go there. They will follow markers. And it's an entirely cool system that's coming to the game. More like screen is green. How do you program them in game? You use the blocks. So because we have a voxel world, you just place marker blocks. And they can navigate with blocks that are hidden below the ground so that you actually don't know or don't see that they're being programmed underground. So there's an entire like dynamic system where you use blocks underground for this. But you can also, if you don't have room for a false floor and if you don't have room underground, you can use in existing builds the decals. And those are stickers like ivy or a water puddle or a like a metal frame or maybe a cushion or a pillow. You can use those decals, like use some that make sense to hide that they're actually navigational markers for the NPC. So it will scan for these stickers on the ground and then on the ground, so not underground, but on the ground. And it will use those stickers to navigate the world and do the things that you want them to do. So you can kind of transparently and hidden from view make the navigational markers and waypoints in your world, and they will appear to be intelligent, which is pretty cool. Okay, there's a lot of color stuff going on YouTube. I'm going to call it quits for today. I didn't want to stream this week, but I did. I even made it 2 hours, 2.5 hours maybe even. I made a very cool system. Thanks for the talk today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on the later time, you feel free to post questions and comments about this system on the forums. So there's this forum thread over on playangeldust.com. NPC IDs, stream number 314. Just type your comments here. It's much appreciated. But I think we have most of the groundwork done now, and that's really cool. Like one of the open things is still like, okay, how do we do interactions with chairs and a few other blocks? We'll see. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was really excited to show this off. That's why I just at the last moment, I planned this stream, and I thought like, okay, even if I'm feeling a little bit ill or a little bit sick, I will stream because I want to show this and I want to know if I'm going in the right direction. It felt really cool to work on this week, and it was really cool to see the NPCs finally come alive after just hearing the idea last week. So it's a turnaround time of 5-6 days or something. Already adding some very cool features with the dynamic behavior. And I was like, okay, let's make sure that players understand and want this. And it seems like it's a pretty good in the pretty good step in the right direction. Thank you for being frank with us, Frank. I can't be anything else. Hey, this was it for today. I hope you enjoyed the weekend. It's not Saturday today, but it's Friday, so enjoy your Friday, your Saturday, your Sunday. Next week, I will probably be streaming on Saturday again, so that's back to the regular programming. And I will be enjoying Sinterklaas tomorrow, our Dutch festivity or holiday. And I hope to receive a lot of gifts and a lot of ginger nuts, because I really want those ginger nuts. They're the greatest, the biggest, the baddest, the hugest candy in the world. I want it. Yeah, thank you. See you, good night. Yeah, this was it. Next week will probably be a regular Angeldust Live, so I might not be showing the NPC stuff, but I will be working on it. Maybe I'll show some screenshots, or maybe I'll share some talk later on in the stream. But it will probably be hunting and doing the regular stuff, because I might not be able to use this version on the old server. I will be, but I can't show you the new stuff. So, there. Peace off. Yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the weekend. Hope you enjoyed the live stream. Thanks for the ideas and for the talk. I will see you again next week on Saturday, 1700 hours UTC. Alright, peace off. See you later. I actually said it. I meant peace out. See you later.